All right. Do they know the history of pirates of the Chesapeake Bay? Well, before the pandemic, Tim Williams sat down with the local author to explain the connection.
We're excited this morning to have Dr. Jamie Goodall, who is the author of a new book, Pirates of the Chesapeake Bay. Jamie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm so intrigued, first off, in how you got interested in pirates, especially in this area, because I don't think many people realize that there's a connection.
Yeah, so I did my doctoral research on Pirates of the Caribbean, and an editor from the History Press actually approached me and was like, "You're working here in the region now, would you be interested in doing a local version of your doctoral research?" And I was like, absolutely.
Oh man, that's so cool. So we know here, I mean, this is a very nautically based area. Of course, more boats in Annapolis than anywhere in the world. But we know about the Constellation and the history there. Tell me about the pirates here in this area.
So pirates in this area operated pretty much the same way that they did out of the Caribbean. We had great industry here in Baltimore in particular, but throughout the Chesapeake Bay. And so you had boats coming in and out all the time, some of them coming from the Caribbean. And so it was just prime target for pirates.
Wow. So now your book, Pirates of the Chesapeake Bay, from the colonial era to the Oyster Wars.
Yes.
Oyster Wars. Tell us, kind of explain that to us.
So the Oyster Wars were a couple of different things sort of melded together. You had individuals coming from New England who had eradicated their own oyster beds and trying to fish in our waters. And the governors of Maryland and Virginia tried to prevent that, keeping the oysters for those who lived in Virginia and Maryland. But then you also had tongers versus dredgers.
Okay.
And the tongers were the preferred because they didn't disrupt the oyster beds, whereas the dredgers would come through and just dredge the entire oyster bed. And by doing that, it destroyed the oyster bed.
Okay.
And so you had two different kinds of pirates, really.
Okay, wow. So now the book is available. There was one passage you had here. This description talks about the maritime communities of Chesapeake Bay are intimately tied to the fascinating history of intrigue and plunder. I mean, you make it sound like a soap opera almost, you know? So great. So the book is available where?
You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and you can buy it directly from the press, Arcadia Publishing.
Okay, exciting topic. Dr. Jamie Goodall, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. And we'll be right back with much more of your news, weather, and traffic.